technically I'm trained in everything. I'm trained in jazz, tap, modern, ballet, contemporary, African, you name it, whatever you need. So why can't you get the choreography? Because I was trained 15 years ago. Okay. Hey guys, it's your girl Ayesha and I'm here dishing up your Drag Race lowdown. I hope that you're all feeling good and I hope you're all feeling fine, and I'm fully aware that this video is out a little bit later than it should be. But I've been nursing yet another cold over the weekend, so you know, it is what it is. So anyway, I'm here now, so you can finally get your Drag Race fix. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. This is the part where I like to talk about all things that are Drag Race related. So if you too are a Drag Race fan, feel free to check out my playlist, which is the Drag Race Lowdown, or I also did the All Stars Roundup as well. So if you're a bit of a fan, then, you know, feel free to go through those in your spare time. So let's just jump straight into this one. Now, the mini challenge for this week was it was a reading challenge, and I don't mean reading as in reading is fundamental challenge. I'm talking about like actual reading, like can you actually read? So basically the queens had to impersonate news anchor woman Rachel Maddow. I have no idea who Rachel Maddow is, but she's one of Ru's absolute favorites, so that's the person who they chose. Now I'm guessing that she must be like a massive TV personality over in America, because the queens were going crazy when they found out that was who they're going to be impersonating. Now, so they had to read everything off of auto cue, and I was really surprised at the fact that half of these queens can't even read. For example, Mercedes. Now, one of the lines was, we have ginormous news tonight. And she was like, we have generations news tonight. Generations? Girl. And Raja, half the time, she was just like, I'm sorry, what is that? What is the word? Say what? And I'm just like, oh my God. Queens, come on! Another line was, good God, get a grip, girl, which is, you know, one of Latrice Royale's famous lines. And Akira was just like, good girl, grip, girl. And I'm like, girl, how you not gonna, girl? God. People who really stood out for me in this challenge were Nina West, Sugarcane, and Scarlet Envy. All three of them for me were pretty much spot on perfect. They're very, very good at acting, and even though I didn't know who Rachel Maddow was, I really did get a sense of who she is and her character through those three. Another line was RuPaul took to Twitter with a seemingly nonsensical tweet. Miss Raja, she took to Twitter with a non-suspicious twist. Non-suspicious twist? Girl, you need to twist your eyesight, because how could you read that as non-suspicious twist? The thing is, the reason why I'm laughing, right? Like, I'm not laughing at the fact that they can't read. I'm laughing at the fact that half the time these queens go on like they are it. Raja especially. Like, she thinks that she is the business, and she's really not. And I'm just like, girl, if you can't even read these words, you need to just go and sit down. And let's not even talk about Miss Vanjie. She had to read the word sophisticated. She went, bandicot. I'm not even exaggerating. And let's not even talk about the fact that these queens don't know how to pronounce the word colonel. At least three of them. Silky Ganache included. Brooklyn Heights included, and that surprised me. Read it as colonial/colonial. Silky was like, colonial standards, KFC. And I'm just like, oh my God. I know it's an odd spelling, I know. Like, we've all been there, innit? Like, I know that it's a weird spelling. But by now, in this day and age, at this moment in time, in 2019, we should know that colonial is pronounced Colonel. So the winner of the challenge was Scarlet Envy, who deserved it hands down, let's face it. I'd have been happy with either Scarlet or Nina West winning that, because they both were like the top standouts for me. So Scarlet won, so her prize was that she got to be the head of the next challenge, which is often how it goes. She was the casting director of Trump the Rusical. Oh Lord. So this is basically a musical about that horrible man, Donald Trump, and they kind of like fused it with Grease. It was actually really quite good. It was basically a musical that was just sort of highlighting the women in his life and the part that they played in his life, and just what a horrible man that he is. Now, personally, I don't really know much about the women in Trump's life, and I don't really care. But I did find out a lot about their characters through this musical. So yeah, I was thoroughly entertained. What I thought was really interesting was the way how Mercedes wanted to play Shandy, who was just some woman who Trump had some summer romance with. But she's like the main character. Mercedes, listen, this is the girl who's been like the wallflower of this competition, and doesn't really show many signs of changing that. So I thought it was really interesting that she put up her hand to be the main character. I was like, are you sure about that? Like, I'm all for letting people shine, but like, know your strengths, and this isn't going to be your strength. And the thing is that Scarlett knew that, so she was kind of just like, no, you're not going to be the main character. I was like, oh. So she ended up giving Shandy to Ariel instead, who really didn't want to be Shandy. She wanted to be Ivana. Is that her name? Ivana Trump? His ex-wife? I think that's her name, Ivana. Yeah, she wanted to be her instead. And she was really quite like cut up about it. I think she was just super nervous. And she really did get into her own head in this challenge. She was very doubtful of herself, which is unfortunate, because I think that had she given it her everything, she could have really shone. But yeah, she was really like beating herself up quite a lot, I think. When it came to casting Oprah, everyone basically just looked at Silky and was like, well, this is definitely you. And Silky was like, no, like, I want to be Shandy. I want to be the main character. You know, Oprah's only got 40 seconds in this whole musical. Like, I want to shine. I want to be, you know, Shandy, da 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 da. And even I'm just sitting at home like, who else are you going to be but Oprah? Like, you're the spitting image. Like, once she's all made up, she proper looked like her. And she was brilliant. Like, she was fantastic in it. But she really didn't want to do the role. And I'm like, girl, it's not a bad role at all. And she took it and she owned it and she was great. Brooklyn Heights did a brilliant Ivana Trump. She really had that kind of sort of poise about her, you know, and like the lips were like plumped up like this. And I know that's not how Ivana talks. I'm not going to do the accent. But like she really did like embody her sort of attitude. And she said that she kind of stole a little bit of it from Patsy from Ab Fab as well, which I thought was quite a clever little mix what she did there. But yeah, there was no mistaking who she was. Like she definitely did look the part. Vanjie was supposed to be Miss Rosie O'Donnell. That was just Vanjie with black hair and glasses on, as far as I was concerned. So yeah, the judges, they were a little bit like, not much Rosie O'Donnell in there, but you know, we loved your energy. Nevertheless, she always gives a brilliant show, regardless of what it is that she's doing. But yeah, I didn't really see any Rosie in there. Sugar Cane was brilliant. She was playing Hillary Clinton. She was one of the people who really stood out for me. I don't know, she just got so much energy. Like, as soon as she hits the stage, when it's her time to perform, she gives it everything. And I just thought that she was fantastic. And she can really move as well. Like, she was pretty good with the dancing. Speaking of the dancing, oh my goodness. So, Yanis Marshall, right? He is well known for being fabulous in heels. Oh my God. When he's dancing with his two boys and they're all there giving it all the Beyonce in those stilettos, man, I live. Like, he is one of my favorite people to watch dance, and he was choreographing this whole piece and he was not playing. I thought it was absolutely hilarious that Raja, when asked if she had any dance experience, was like, yeah, I can do ballet, tap, jazz, modern, African, you know, whatever you need. I'm technically trained, rare-te-te. And then Brooklyn was like, oh, I used to be a professional ballet dancer. And Yanis was like, oh, can we see some of your moves? And she came out doing all of these, you know, arabesques and plies and pirouettes. And all the rest of it. I don't know all of the technical terms, but she was looking really, really good. And Raja was all like giving daggers. And I'm like, girl, why are you mad? Raja was like, in confession, she was like, oh, so we're doing demonstrations now? I'm like, yeah, where's your demonstration? But the joke was that she's there listing off everything that she's done under the sun. And she's terrible at picking up the choreography. Yanis was just like, listen, I wish you didn't tell me you had all that dance experience because I was expecting so much from you. I was like, oh, shame. And like the whole time, whenever Yanis was trying to get her to like demonstrate that she knew that part of the routine, she's all looking down and she's not giving it her all. There's no energy there, blah, blah, blah. And like everyone was just looking so disappointed in her. And then she's all like, you know, Yanis is trying to come for me and I'm not having it. I'm not featuring it. I'm not feeling it. Rare. And she's just giving all the I'm not this, I'm not that. I'm just like, you know what, girl? I am so over you. You need to go next week. You really do. Because like, I just can't. It's the attitude. Like, don't be bigging up yourself and saying, oh yeah, I can do this, I can do that. I'm technically this and technically that. When you were trained 15 years ago and you did not retain any of that training, like, if you're going to really sell yourself like that, then you need to be on top form. What she should have said was, well, back when I was in school, 15 years ago, I did get trained in jazz, tap, modern, and the rest of it. But it's been a while. It's been a hot minute. I might be a little bit rusty. Like, have some humble pie. Don't come with a scroll of everything that you've ever done and you can't deliver. I'll tell you something that I was really grateful to see and really pleased that it actually got aired was Evie Oddly. Now, when it came to doing the floor work, Evie was talking about how she was worried about her knees because they tend to pop out of place. And Brooklyn was like, what do you mean they pop out of place? And Evie was like, girl, all of my joints pop out of place constantly all the time. And my ears kind of pricked up. I was a bit like, oh, so do mine. I think she's got what I have. And so Yanis said to her, what is it that's wrong? What's your condition? And then she says, oh, I've got a connective tissue disorder, which means that I'm, you know, like super flexible and all the rest of it. But like everything just sort of slips out of place. And I was like, she's got Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And then she explained it in confessions. And I was like, do you know what? I'm so pleased that that got seen and that got like, you know, aired, because not enough people know about Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and there's so many different versions of it. There's like 13 different types, and there's probably more being discovered as we speak. And it's something that doesn't really get a lot of press. So to have that shown on Drag Race, I thought that was such an important thing. And I could really, really like empathize and sympathize with her, because that floor work can't have been easy. It was one drop to the floor and, you know, legs akimbo, all the rest of it. But doing it constantly again and again and again and again. But she said, I'm not going to let that affect me in this challenge. Like, she wasn't using it as a crutch or anything. And I'm just like, girl, I respect that so much, because I was recently diagnosed with the same condition last year in the summer. And it's funny because I look back on my life and I'm like, goodness me, like, I wish this was diagnosed earlier, because I've been this way all my life. But like my pains and stuff just started to get a lot worse over time. And so, you know, I don't like do like dancing and stuff like that anymore like I used to, but I don't do that now just because of like, it hurts. But seeing her, I was like, man, that is inspiration right there. And that was definitely something that we all needed. So I felt really, really proud of her for sharing that. I was pleased to see that Ariel did actually eventually get a grip, and, you know, she did turn out when it came to the actual challenge, because in rehearsals, she was just not with it. As I said earlier on, she was really like in her head, but I think that all things considered, she did actually do really, really well. Mercedes still faded into the background for me. Scarlett was actually pretty funny. I did actually quite enjoy her. But the true standouts for me had to be Silky, and Evie was actually quite hilarious. She was really, really good. And who else I think stood out? Probably Sugarcane. They were like my favorites. Oh, and Brooklyn Heights. She was brilliant as well. I don't want to spend too much time dissecting everything because it will just take me ages, but your best bet is to go on YouTube, have a look on VH1's channel, because they've already uploaded the musical there, so you can go ahead and go and check it out. Go and grab you, you know, like a bag of crisps and a cup of tea, because like it was hilarious and it deserves full attention to watch it. Oh, by the way, who was playing Donald Trump? I hear you cry. None other than Ginger Minge. I couldn't believe just like her face. Like, she looked brilliant. She looked perfect. Like, just go and watch it. It was so good. Okay, so now we've hit the runway. Now, you know how last week I was a little bit like, over RuPaul's dress? I had a completely different reaction this time. This time I almost fell to the floor. Oh, it was, oh my gosh. Now, you guys might not get that excited about this, but listen, honey, this is all my colors, okay? It was purple, it was pink, and it was turquoise all together. And those of you who've been with me for quite some time will know that whenever I see these colors together, I get a little bit excited. Oh my goodness, she looked beautiful, okay? Like, just stunning. All these beautiful pastels, and you know, the whole one shoulder thing, and and the makeup was gorgeous. Everything was just flowing beautifully. She just looked perfect. The theme for the runway was Orange Alert. Now, Evie's look was actually really, really cute. She had this whole kind of like circus clown thing going on. I loved her little like fruity hair that she had on. The only thing I wish is that her skirt was bigger. It kind of just looked like a hula hoop with a bit of material over it. So I do wish that there was a bit more going on with the skirt. But aside from that, I thought she looked really cute, and she definitely sold it as she's coming down the runway, because she had that kind of like quirky attitude. The thing with Evie is that whatever she's wearing, she really sells it in the way that she walks. Plastic Tiara, I'm not altogether sure that I like this one. At first I thought that she was some sort of phoenix, you know, with the whole like red, orange and yellow and the feathers. But then she was saying in the confessions that she was doing a kind of like butterfly look. And I was a bit like, okay, more like a fiery moth maybe. And I can't stand butterflies and moths. Like, I hate them with a passion. So that already kind of put me off. Raja's look was okay. I just wasn't a fan of the fact that the chaps were so baggy. I like them to be more fitted. And I think that there was just too much gapping going on there. So they looked a little bit too separate from it. If they were more fitted, then I definitely think that that would have looked much, much better. I actually quite liked Nina West's costume. Again, she was selling it down the runway, giving it all the attitude. I would have liked to have seen a reveal with this one. I think that there was definitely room for that. But yeah, that aside, I thought that it looked pretty good, and it seemed like something that really, you know, would kind of like suit her. You know, she's a big buxom lady, and like she looked like the most glamorous buxom wench that you could ever find. Do you know what I mean? Like, she looked great. Scarlett's outfit was absolutely gorgeous, and she made everything like from head to toe, and you could tell because it was all covered in the same material, but it just, it blended together beautifully. You could see a lot of work went into that, and even Untucked, where she'd like taken off the skirt and revealed the sort of like short dress underneath it. Like, I feel that had she had to lip sync, that would have been a really nice reveal that she could have done as well. But yeah, no, she was swanning down that runway like nobody's business. That she looked stunning, really, really nice. Akira Davenport, Akira Davenport Minaj, girl. I mean, I'm sorry, but she looked hot. She looked so damn good. That hair, literally from the head to the floor. And it was just ass, 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 ass. She looked amazing. Absolutely amazing. Stunning. Like, straight away, I was like, that's actually Nicki Minaj. Like, oh man, she looked great. Next. Silky Nutmeg Ganache though. Listen, I know that in week one, I was like, listen, I am tired of Silky. She needs to go. She's getting on my nerves. She's just way too loud. She's just too much. Okay, I'm actually here for Silky now. She looked stunning. That dress was beautiful. Her face looked gorgeous. The hair, everything about this look was top class. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Ariel Versace came out next. Now, I preferred her outfit with the jacket thing on. I feel that the reveal was a bit of an anticlimax for me. Like the feathers that she had hanging off of her arms and off of her waist, I don't know, I feel like maybe she just needed to have more. They just looked a little bit too spaced out for me. And I know she was trying to, like, you know, give it a few moves and whatnot, but it just wasn't really enough. Mercedes comes out next in a spangled leotard and some feathers coming out of her head and an organza scarf wrapped around her waist that she then took off to just reveal the bottom half of the leotard. It's just not enough. Now, unfortunately, because we just saw Ariel come out with her feathers hanging off of her arms, it kind of looked like Vanjie just sort of borrowed that from her and, you know, kind of came out in a similar sort of thing. However, she did step it up more by having all of the feathers over her head as well. Her hair looked lovely. I did like the little tinge of orange in her waves at the front, and her like corset, beautiful. Glitter on the chest again. Brooklyn Heights though. Stunning, absolutely stunning. Very detox, I have to say. She's probably fed up of being told that she looks like detox, but she does. And that was a very detoxy thing that she wore, but she looked beautiful in it. The figure was right, the hair was right, the face was right. I loved the long coat. I loved all of the straps going across her. She just looked fabulous. End of story. Sugarcane though. Sugarcane was fantastic. I mean, I don't know whether she knew that the Rusical was going to be done on the same day as the Orange Alert runway, but regardless, it tied together very, very well. She came out with the orangest face ever, and this sparkly navy blue suit and this like big like white bouffant hair. Man, Trump wishes that he looked that good. And then she came out eating a bag of Cheetos. Fantastic. What a really cool way to play on the subject for the runway. I thought that she did a great job. She's becoming one of my favorites in the competition, actually. It's time to lip sync for your life. So the winner was Miss Silky Nutmeg Ganache. She was the winner of the whole challenge, and quite rightly so, because she just looked fabulous and she stole the show. In the bottom we have Raja and Mercedes. It was to be expected. I called it. I knew it was going to happen. Mercedes, I decided needed to go home from the get-go because there was hardly any energy at all coming from her in this lip sync. Raja, as much as I don't like her, she was fantastic. Like, she was giving it everything, giving it so much attitude, but there was a part that literally had me like cracking up so much. And it's when she's leaning back and her wig falls off, but it was like the slight look that she did. It was like a 1 second look of, oh my god, my wig just fell off, but the show must go on. And she just like points to the wig, and I was just like, oh my god, I don't want to like you right now, but that was flipping hilarious. So yeah, she definitely did deserve to win that lip sync. Mercedes, it's a shame we won't get to see her beautiful face around anymore, but she just wasn't enough. Like, in every challenge, in every lip sync, she just wasn't really enough. And yeah, I think that's what kind of let her down. So there you have it, lovelies. That is your Drag Race lowdown for this week. I'm sorry that it's come out a little bit later than expected, but you know, it is what it is. I did my best. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did like this video, then please don't forget to leave me a big fat thumbs up. And of course, if you are loving my content, then of course you can subscribe. If I say of course one more time. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you guys soon. Mwah. Bye.